Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you my modest little garlic harvest, planted last fall by my sister and I. My mom gave me some of her garlic she grew, a German hardneck variety, which we planted back in September, if I remember correctly. We planted a few rows of that variety, then I also planted some garlic I had just bought from Costco that I use in my cooking, just as an experiment. Garlic turned out to be one of the easiest crops I've ever grown, and I highly recommend that you try it this fall. Just pop in some nice big cloves in the ground every 4 to 6 inches, and then the following summer you'll harvest it. Also, I did cut off the scapes, the curly garlic flower shoot that the plant sends out in the early summer. Cutting off the scapes allows the plant to send more energy to the bulb, aka bigger bulbs. I made a delicious garlic scape pesto with them, and I also threw them into a number of quiches and salad dressings. I made a short of the garlic scape pesto if you're interested in that. So I began pulling the bulbs after seeing that a few sets of leaves had died back from the bottom of the stalks. The Costco variety on the right is what I pulled first, and they were considerably more crispy looking and even laid flat by the time I was harvesting them. The plants themselves were a lot shorter than the other variety from my mom and seemed to have bulbed up smaller as well. I tried to knock as much dirt from the bulb onto my hand as possible and then put them into my sturdy harvest basket.
Little baby Ruth.
The basket is also where I would be storing the pulled plants until I laid them out for better air circulation in my garage, where it stays slightly cooler than outside and gets pretty good circulation, but it's still a warm environment for them to cure in. So as I mentioned, I planted these last fall with my sister, and I'm definitely saving a bigger chunk of my garden to devote to planting even more garlic this fall, as it was one of the lowest maintenance crops I've ever grown. Nothing bothers it, there's no pests that bother it, nothing eats it, and all I did was fertilize it in the spring with the Plant Tone organic fertilizer from Espoma, which I pretty much use on everything. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe. I have a lot more to share with you, and I would just love to grow this little channel of mine. I have a major update also to my garden that I am beyond excited to share with you all, and so thrilled to have, and it will definitely take my garden to the next level. That's all I'm going to say. Like dirt. Huh? Dirt. That's a beautiful one. Look at that.
Hold the baby.
You want to hold the little baby garlic?
No, the baby.
The baby's in my belly. How are you going to hold the baby if it's in my belly? You can hold the baby when it comes out. dill. Want to taste it? Taste it. It's really good. Once I pulled up all the garlic, it needed to cure in a ventilated, warm area for about 2 weeks. Then I can clean them, get most of the dirt off, cut the roots down, and then I can braid them or hang them, or simply just, cut the stalk down and put them in a basket in my basement. But we'll get to that in a later video. So another thing I'm trying to do this year is trying to keep all of my beds full. Always have something planted or a plan for it. So my plan for this bed was to weed out all of the lettuce that had gone to seed or that had bolted and it was extremely bitter. I left the kale, the purple kale, even though you're literally seeing me pull it out right now. I did end up leaving some because I changed my mind. And this is me changing my mind. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll replant this. And then it didn't. It got composted, which is fine. So I'm just going to pull all of these. I'm going to leave some of the kale. And I'm planning on planting some beans in there. So my kids have also recently discovered the joy of weeding, and they've always loved chives, which they just take handfuls and handfuls and eat them. And now they've discovered my dill, which is delicious, and I'm glad that they're getting their greens in. So they love to find it, and I've actually sprinkled some in my gardens. I really like how tall it is, and I enjoy tasting it. So my kids were eating all the dill. So the area right here is right behind the compost pile and definitely is very fertile. So I do get a lot of weeds back there. I should just honestly put some cardboard down so I get less weeds, cardboard and mulch. So I get less weeds growing into my garden, but I just, just one of those things. Add it to the list.
Are those weeds?
Yep. Then I moved on to replacing the garlic with another crop. I had soaked 2 kinds of beans overnight to plant where the garlic was. One is a green bean pole variety, and the other, the darker bean, is a purple bush bean. No staking or poles needed for the purple bush bean variety. So I started by planting some purple bush beans between the kale that I didn't pull, and I hope to get some beautiful beans for pickling and fermenting. I also put up the 2 cedar trellises that I bought off Facebook Marketplace last year, and they were frustratingly janky to hammer into the ground, and the crossbars kept coming unstapled. I have, a number of bruises from my hammer slipping, but I eventually got it done. I had more pole beans soaked and I wanted another trellis of beans. So I took a tripod of bamboo that is about as old as my garden, and I staked that to the ground with smaller bamboo poles, which were easier to hammer into the ground, just to give it a little bit more stability. I had trimmed up the wild grape that I'm training over my kids' playset in the backyard, so I took those branches and I wove some basic loops around the frame. If it looks like it's leaning, it's because it is. The bamboo is splitting and it's hard to get evenly into the ground, so I'm not sure how many more seasons it has left in my garden. But for $0, I'm hoping this trellis does the job of supporting my beans. Just building this little structure in my garden has made me realize that I want to build more like obelisks and garden towers for things to grow up vertically on in my garden. And maybe I will build my own tomato supports for next year. So I am very inspired to repurpose a lot of things that I've found and, hopefully not spend a lot of money on it. Just my MO. But I really enjoyed the height that this gave, and I want to add more of that into my garden. Some more structure, more structural things. Maybe even I can find some things that I won't have to take down in the winter to add kind of some more winter interest, which I did discuss in my last video. If you didn't check it out, go check it out. Winter interest is so important. We need to enjoy our gardens in winter as well, and winter interest is a huge part of that. So I did plant the rest of my pole beans in the base of the teepee, and I'm just watering it in, and yeah, pretty much that easy. Thank you so much for watching. I love reading your comments, and it means a lot to me to be able to share the successes and misses of my gardening with you all. So till next week, take care.